A hearty welcome to all the viewers of Math Vibes. Under this series of concept of decimals, we are here with part 3, which is modeling of decimals. Now, what do you mean by modeling of decimals? Well, modeling of decimals means writing decimal numbers when blocks are given. Now you must have seen that in your exercise also there are certain questions in the chapter of decimals where blocks have been made. Different type of blocks. They can be single, they can be in group of 10 or they can be in the group of 100 etc. Okay, so regarding this, when these type of blocks are given and when you have to write the decimal number for that, then how to do that? This is what we are going to discuss in our this video. Earlier in the earlier series of part 1 and 2 we have discussed that when shaded parts are given then how can we write the decimals. Okay, but now here the questions are like blocks. Let's learn it, and before that please take a moment and click on the subscribe button. Now let us see what do we have to do or what do we mean by modeling decimal numbers. Okay, like modeling means like presenting decimal numbers in the form of a model. Okay, in the form of a model. Now when we will talk about that, then the models will be like this, just like a cube, a rectangle, a, a rectangle only, but it has a very thin width, and this small block we can say. Okay, so with the help of these we are going to learn about modeling decimal numbers. Now let us see next. See the first one, the smallest unit. We will start from the smallest unit. Okay, the first one is this. Okay, now this small block, this is one small cube. We will be saying it as one small cube. It is not a cube, but basically when you will learn about all the other forms, then you will come to know that this is representing a cube only. Okay, when you look at the cube from one side, it looks like this. So we will take this as one small cube, and what will it represent? It will represent 1,000th of a bar. Okay, bar we are going to discuss later on, meaning you need 1,000 to make a bar. If you have these small cube 1,000 in number with, when you will combine these small cubes and you take 1,000 small cubes like this, then it becomes a bar. Okay, when you take 1,000 cubes like this, then it becomes a bar. But before coming to bar we have other things also. So let us take the next thing. It is this long rectangle. Okay, long one. Okay, now this long one, which looks like a stick basically, is a set of 10 small cubes. Now this was one small cube. If I take 10 similar small cubes, okay, if I take 10 similar small cubes like this, then this long stick will be formed. Okay, this long stick will be formed. So this is made up with 10 small cubes. So what will it represent? It will represent 1/100th of a bar. Bar is the greatest representation that we will discuss. Okay, now if you want to make a bar, then you will need 100 of these, because total in a bar, total cubes in a bar will be 1,000. Total cubes in a bar will be 1,000. Okay, so if you want to make a bar, then and you have only these with you, then you will need 10 long sticks like this, and one stick will consist of 10 small cubes. One stick, I'm saying it stick, I just want to make it easier for you to understand, that is why I have named it. Okay, this I'll be saying block, this I'll be saying stick. Okay, so this stick will consist of 10 small cubes, and they will represent 1/100th of a bar. Let us see the next one now. Now this is a rectangle type figure. Okay, this is a rectangle type figure. Now what it is, this will represent 100 small cubes. The reason I started with the smallest unit is because it will be easier for you to understand. Okay, I will move in the reverse direction also, but firstly I want you to understand. Let's go from small to big. So one small cube, okay, which we'll say block. All right, then 10 small cube. This stick will consist of 10 small cubes, and this I will be naming as a rectangle, and this rectangle will consist of 100 small cubes. This rectangle will consist of 100 small cubes. Okay, so it will represent 1/10 of a bar. Now we are talking about bar all the time, here also, here also, here also. Okay, so what is a bar? Now let's see what a bar is. Bar is such type of a figure, okay, which will have 1,000 small cubes. It will have 1,000 small cubes, and a combination of 1,000 small cube will represent one whole bar. Okay, a combination of 1,000 small cubes will represent one whole bar. Got it? You can just imagine it like the Rubik cube. You all are playing with it. It is very common nowadays to play with Rubik cube, right? So in a Rubik cube, if you will see its front face, it is 3 by 3, right? Total that faces or block in one face, the total is 9, right? You can see 9 one. Now you imagine that this whole bar is made up with 1,000 small cubes. This whole bar is made up with 1,000 small cubes. Okay, now if you consider this as an ice cream slice or an ice cream brick, sorry. Okay, you take this as an ice cream brick, and if you cut a slice of it in a way that you get 100 small cubes in a slice. Now this is one big bar, okay, one big bar, one whole bar consisting of 1,000 small cubes, and you cut a slice from it. From any side you can cut, and but you have to cut in such a way that you get 100 small cubes in one slice. Then obviously it will represent 1/10 of the bar. Okay, 1/10 of a bar. How? See, 1/10 means 1 by 10. Of means multiply, and in a bar we have 1,000 cubes, right? So 1,000, 0, 0 cancel. So what you have got? 100. So that is why in this one rectangle, okay, which looks like a rectangle, it has 100 small cubes. Okay, it has 100 small cubes, and that is why it will represent 1/10. So when we will be doing the questions, then whenever there is a figure like this whole figure, okay, this whole figure which consists of 1,000 small cubes, it will be considered as whole part. Okay, if we'll have these cubes with us, then it will be called whole part. Now for our convenience, we have named it as one cube. Okay, this will be naming as cube, this will be naming as rectangle, this will be naming as stick, and this we will be naming as blocks, just for our convenience. Okay, same way, now if you look at this number, if you look at this stick, it consists of 10 small cubes. Okay, and we have written that it represents 1/100th of a bar. Okay, 1/100th of a bar, because it has 10. It has 10. Now let's see. So meaning it is 1/100th of a bar. Okay, 1/100th of a bar. So that means 1 over 100 multiplied by 1,000. So two zeros cancel. So 10. We have got 10. So 10 small cubes, and that is why this stick is having 10 small cubes, and it represents the 1/100th part. So whenever in a question we have this will be taking as whole part, this we will be taking as 10th part, this we will be taking as 100th part, and whenever there is a small block, this we will be representing as the, yes, come on, tell me, as the 1000th part. Okay, 1000th part. Reason is it is 1 by 1000 of the complete bar. So 1 by 1000 multiplied by 1000 will obviously give you, if you'll cancel these three, it will give you 1 only. So this is 1 only. So that is why this block will represent 1000th part. Once again I am repeating, this will be representing whole part. This will be representing 10th decimal place, 10th. Okay, this will be representing 100th decimal place, and this block will be representing 1000th decimal place. For understanding modeling of decimals, this part of the video is very important to understand. If you have not understood this part, please go through it once again, because otherwise the sums will not be clear to you. Alright, so let's see it with the help of some questions. Now suppose this question is given to you and you have to write this in decimals. Okay, you have to write the answer in decimal. We'll tell you the answer in a while, but firstly do click on the subscribe button and like our video also. Thank you. Okay, so if I have to answer this question in decimals, then we have already learned just now that this will represent whole part. Now how many blocks are there? 1. There is only one block, so whole part is 1. And we have done that these rectangles will represent which part? 10th part. Remember, this was 1 by 10 of bar representing 100 small cubes. Okay, this rectangle was representing 10th part. Okay, so 1 whole part and 4 10th part. 4, these are representing 10th part, and how many are there in number? 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So what will be the answer? 1 and 4 tenths. Okay, so what will be the answer? 1 and 4 tenths. Let's see the next one. Again, this thing, this whole bar is representing the whole part. Okay, this is representing the whole part. Now whole part is 1. It is 1 in number. Okay, and we have done that these sticks are representing 100th part. These sticks are representing 100th part. And how many sticks are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So 7. And there is no 10th part over here. Now we know that before 100, 10th is coming. But in this question, we don't have the 10th part. So in 10th place, we will write 0. And in 100th place, we will write 7. And in whole part, we will write 1. So the answer is 1 and 7/100ths. 1 and 7/100ths. Now this is one way of writing in decimal. If you want to write it in another way, you can always say that the answer is 1.07. 1.07. 1 and 7/100ths. Okay, 1 and 7/100ths. You know that a decimal can be represented in many ways. Now let's see the next one. Now see, here we have no whole part. Okay, we know that these rectangles, they represent the 10th part. These rectangles represent the 10th part. These sticks represents the 100th part. Now as there is no whole number, can you see any whole number? No, I also can't see. So the number is 0. So there are 0 whole parts. 0 dot. Now how many 10th part are there? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 5 10th part. Okay. So 5 rectangles are there. Now these are representing the next. These are representing the 100th part. And how many there are there in all? 1, 2, 3. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. So it is 0.53. Now let us revise it, our naming of decimals, which we have already done in part 2. Okay, so according to that, according to second method, by the first method I can name it as 0.53, and by the second method I can name it as 53 hundredths or 0.53. 53 hundredths or 0.53. Next, see, one complete block, then two rectangles which are representing 10th part, and then four blocks which are representing 100th part. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks, and the blocks were representing 1000th part. Okay, the blocks were representing 1000th part. Now let us do it one more time. Whole was representing whole part, so it is 1 in number, so I will write 1 point. Okay, now rectangles were representing 10th part, and how many rectangles are there? 2, so it is 1.2. Now these sticks, they are representing 100th part, and how many are there? 4, so it is 4. Now these blocks are representing 1000th part, and how many are there in number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5. So the answer is 1.245. Now along with this, if you have another question that write it in words, then how will you write it? We have already discussed in part 2. So let's see. So this will be 1 and 245,000 or 1.245. If you are still confused how to write the number name using two methods, okay, you can choose any method to write. You can anytime go and watch part 2 in this series of concept of decimals on our channel. Alright, okay, moving on. Now when these type of numbers are given, see, in this video I'll be taking different numbers so that the concept is absolutely clear in your mind. Okay, and you also have to do one thing. You have to just quickly press the subscribe button, and you have to click the like also. Thank you. All right, so now in this question we just have blocks. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks. No whole part, no 10th part, no 100th part, only this 1000th part. So what is the total number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now if I want to write it, then it is 0, no whole part, no 10th part, no 100th part, and 1000 part, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is 0.006. And if you want to write it in words, it will be written as 6 thousandths or 0.006. Okay, 6 thousandths or 0.006. Let's see this one now. Okay, now here again we have one complete box. This is one complete, then one stick, and then 3 blocks. Here which part is missing? Yes, come on, which part is missing? 10th part, right. So the answer is 1 complete, 10th part is missing, so 0. And this block is there, but it is only 1 in number, so 1. And how many these blocks are there? 3, so 1.013. Okay, no 10th part, one whole part, one stick, and 3 blocks. So number name will be 1 and 13,000th or 1.013. Alright, next, now see, now in this question there are 2 bars. Okay, there are 2 bars, and we know that bars were representing the whole part. Okay, so now if you see, then the number will be 2 point, 10th part is 1. Okay, how many sticks are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 stick, 10th part. And how many blocks are there? 1, 2, and 3. So 2.173. If you want to write it in number name, It is 2 and 173 thousandths or 2.173. Do watch our video on writing the number name of these decimal numbers, which is part 2 of concept of decimals, if you are still confused in how to write the number name of the decimal numbers. Okay, moving on. Now we'll do it quickly. Okay, so here the number is no whole part. So 0 point. 10th part is 3. And how many sticks are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh my God, what to do? I cannot write 12 at two places. Here, see, we have at 10th place we have 12, but it is not possible to write two digit at one place. Is it possible? No. So what we will do is we will shift this one here. Okay, so how many blocks were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So blocks are 5. Okay, blocks are 5, but here this is the problem, so we will shift it. So final answer will be 0.425. Now this is a different question. Okay, if you have more number of sticks, at every place we can write only one digit. Okay, at every place we can write only one digit. Now if there are more than one digits in some places, then what we will do, we will shift it. If it is coming two digit number, like here in this question it was sticks were 12 in number, but at one place I cannot write two digits, so I will shift this tens number to the next one. So it will be 3 plus 1, which is 4. So now writing the number name of this will be 425 thousandths or 0.425. Next, now this is 1.2. I'm going to do it quickly now because you also should be able to do it faster. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1.27. Now I'm taking complicated sums, okay, so that you can understand it. Now let's count the blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh my God, 13 blocks. At thousandth place now we have 13 blocks. Same problem. I cannot write 13 at thousandth place. There should be only one digit at each place. Okay, so what we are going to do now, we will shift this one to the previous place. Okay, so now the final answer will be 1.283. 1.283. The reason is I cannot write two digits at one place, so the number name will be 1 and 283 thousandths or 1.283. So the next, I've just written the answers because let's do it quickly. I hope you have understood now. So this is no whole part. So 0.1 complete rectangle, 1, then 2 sticks and then 9 blocks. So 0.1 to 9. This is representing 0.31. Okay, so no whole part, so 0, then 3 rectangles and 1 stick. So 1 stick is there. Now this way the question can be formed like this also, that represent the given decimal number in the form of blocks. Okay, so if it is 0.31, so 0 means no whole part, so no need to draw any block. So 3 means 3 tenths, so tenth means rectangles. Okay, so draw 3 rectangles and then 1 will mean a stick. Alright, so same way, so it is 0.1 to 9, we have already discussed. Okay, so same way this is 0.2 no whole part. Okay, and 2 tenth parts, so 0.2. Now here we don't have any whole part, we don't have any tenth part, only 5 sticks are there, and that is why these 5 sticks represents 0.05. So sometimes the question comes in another part also, where you have to write the decimal numbers only, but shaded portions are given. Such type of questions we have done in earlier video series also, like part 2. Okay, but here these are different ones. Okay, suppose now these are there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 total parts are there, and out of this how many are shaded? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. 9 are shaded. So if I want to write down its decimal number, then I can say that they are 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10, and I know that out of can be written like 9 over 10, and if I want to represent 9 over 10 in the form of decimal, it will be 0.9. If you don't know how, go and watch part 1 of concept of decimals, which is available on our channel. Okay, it is explained in detail that how can we convert fractions into decimals. Okay, so or it can be also written as 9 tenths. 9 tenths. All right, and 9 over 10, obviously we can write it. Let's see the next one. Another one again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 total parts are there. Out of this how many are shaded? 4. Okay, out of this 4 are shaded, and we know that they can be written as 4 out of 10 means 0.4. Okay, or 4 tenths or 4 over 10. This all, that how to write it, how to name the decimal numbers or how to write the number name of decimal numbers, we have discussed in detail in part 2, and converting fractions into decimals or decimals into fractions we have done in part 1. You can go and watch that, and do subscribe quickly. Now if the question is like this, okay, so here you have two holes. Okay, two whole part means all are shaded. In this question all the parts are shaded. Okay, and in this part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, only 7 parts are shaded. Okay, here complete picture is shaded, but here only 7 parts are shaded. Two holes and 7 out of 10. Okay, so what will be the answer of this? 2.7, because two holes, पूरी पिक्चर शेड है ना, पूरी पिक्चर को शेड किया हुआ है, so 2 whole part. और यहाँ पे out of 10 7 parts are shaded, so 7 over 10 means it is representing 10th part, so 7 will come at 10th place. So it is named as, or the number name can be 2 and 7 tenths. 2 and 7 tenths. Okay. So, or if you want to write it in mixed fraction, it can be written as 2 is to 7 over 10. Now, same way, now if you have this, now here you have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on this side and 10 on this side. So, it is 10 by 10 grid, means it is 100 blocks are there, and out of 100 let's see how many are shaded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 10, 10, 30 and 2, 32. So in a 10 by 10 grid, 32 are shaded. Okay, in a 10 by 10 grid, 32 are shaded. Alright, so the fraction will be 32 over 100. It can be written as 32 out of 100. Okay, which is 0.32. And the number name will be 32 hundredths, because there is no whole part, there is no 10th part, only a 100 grid, like 10 by 10 grid is there, and out of that 32 parts are shaded, so it will represent 32 hundredths or 32 over 100. Okay, if you go in reverse order, then 32 over 100 can be written as 0.32. With the help of concept of series part 1 video, how to write its number name, 32 hundredths, concept of decimal video part 2. Okay, so next is this one. Okay, it is again a 10 by 10 grid, so no whole part, no 10th part, and out of this how many are shaded? 10, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 means 80. Out of this 80 parts are shaded. Right, 80 parts are shaded, so 80 out of 100 means it will obviously represent the number which will be at 100th place. Okay, so it is 0.80 or 80 hundredth or 80 over 100. So the easier method is that you first of all you write 80 over 100 out of, first you write 80 out of 100, then you write 80 over 100, then you can write like 0.80. Okay, and this is the number name only. Okay, so here come the last one, again a 10 by 10 grid out of which only 6 parts are shaded. So 6 out of 100, okay, 6 out of 100 can be written as 0.06, 0.06, or number name is 6 hundredths or 6 over 100th. Alright, I hope it is clear to you all. And the next video under concept of decimals will be part 4, which is multiply and divide the decimals by multiples of 10. Okay, like if you have to multiply some decimal number with 10, 100,000, etc., or you have to divide some decimal numbers by 10, 100,000, etc., then how can you do it orally within minutes? That will be our part 4 in this series. Don't forget to watch all the videos of concept of decimals if you want to have extra clarity in that. And don't forget to click the subscribe button. We are eagerly waiting for you every day. Bye bye.